Goals can be super motivating. They give you something to aim for and keeping you on track. But here's the thing, your happiness shouldn't really rely on if you reach those goals or not. Well, that comes probably a little surprising, but I'm not the hugest fan on focusing too much on goals alone. What really works for me is a good system and some very good habits. But goals are still so important because they give you meanings and motivation. So on that, you can then build all of your systems and your habits to move forward and grow every day. In this video, I'll show you how to set simple and smart goals, not as something to stress over, but as a tool to help you create systems that actually work. Because when done right, goals can help you on your journey and doesn't make you feel stressed or uncomfortable with your situation right now. So now, how to set goals the right way. There is this image of 12 life areas that everyone has, and I use that to set my goals correctly and properly. So in every area of my life, I can have a goal. Let's go through all of the 12 life areas. Health. Mental health, physical health, how you feel overall, how you feel in your mind. That can be stuff like working out, doing journaling, meditation, going for a walk, eating healthy, drinking a lot of water, everything that connects to your health. 2, career and business. So all about your career or your business that you have. This can be stuff like setting up a new side hustle, changing job, trying something new, make your own company. 3, finances. So how is it looking like with your money? Stuff like saving, investing, budgeting. 4, personal growth. Stuff like mindset, beliefs, spirituality, self-development books, journaling about your feelings, going to a workshop about it. 5, relationships with your family, with your friends, with your loved ones, anyone that is in your life. That can be stuff, for example, making more things with them, giving them more compliments, call them more often, visit them more often. 6, fun and recreation. So all of your hobbies, where you travel to, what you do in your free time, what you like to spend your time with. So that can be stuff like planning a trip to somewhere, going to a workshop with someone else, picking up a new hobby. 7 is giving. What purpose and what meaning do you give to your life? That can be that you help someone, that you donate something, that you give someone something they really want. 8, environment. Like environment from your own space, for example, your room that you have, your house that you have, the place where you work at, the people that surround you. That it can be that you want to change the room that you're living in, you want to move out, you want to change the people that surround you, meet new friends, go and check out new things. 9 is spirituality, so finding purpose and meaning in something greater. So for example, journaling, meditation, feeling grateful, connecting with nature. 10 is family, so your relationship with your family. There we can stuff like call them, visit them, plan a trip with them, or have less contact with them, build your own family. 11 is about love life, so the person that you're in love with. That can be dating, that can be going to holidays together, making gifts, showing the love languages to each other. 12 is time managing, so how you structure and plan your days. That can be using a calendar, time block stuff out, set new priorities and new focuses in your life. And with that, we have all of the 12 life areas done. Of course, that is generalized. So if you have other areas and some areas you don't have, then you can switch them out and you can create your own life area. But these are just some ideas of the general life areas that you could have. Now you can set to any of these areas one goal. It's important to have not too many goals, otherwise it feels overwhelming. But that doesn't mean that on other things, aspects on that area you can't focus. It's more, that is a goal, that is my main focus, which doesn't mean you should not focus on the other things, but it's just the goal that you have. So what you think about is, where do you want to put your main focus, while still maintaining all of the other things that you also want to do or also grow them, but where is your main focus? You can also find your main focus when you have written out your best version of yourself. Then you can analyze that and see, okay, which would make the most sense to focus on, which would I like to focus on, because in the end, a goal should fit you and should help you. And with that, it's probably easy to find kind of a main focus that you want to have in all of these areas, which also helps to get to your dream version that you want to be. Now, how does one write out goals properly? So there is the SMART technique, which I'm quickly gonna explain. It's a very common technique which is useful. So each of the letters from SMART stand for one thing. S stands for specific. So it's important to write out a specific thing that you want to achieve. So instead of saying I want to be healthier, say I want to exercise 30 minutes 5 days a week. Then M stands for measurable. So it should be a goal that you can measure in some way, because otherwise how would you ever know if you really achieved it or not? So instead of saying I want to save money, say I want to save 50,000 francs. So an A is for achievable, which means it has to be something that you can actually achieve and is in your reach in 1 year to achieve. So instead of saying I want to run my first marathon in 2 weeks, probably rather like I want to run my first 5K in a month. R is for relevant. So if you have written out your dream version, it should probably fit somewhat to there, or in general, it should be something that keeps you going and keeps you growing. So instead of saying I want to start playing piano, it could rather be I want to improve my skill from that and that I have. But of course, if playing piano is what you want to do, then do it. And in the end, T for time bounding. So there has to be a finish line for your goals. If you do the yearly goals, it's just gonna be the end of 2025. You can also set a specific goals already before. For example, I want to run a marathon and that date, because probably then there is a run somewhere that you want to go. So that's also an option. So, and that is how SMART works. But I don't say that you have to do every goal with that. There can also be goals that just kind of general. Like for example, I want to spend more time with myself, because this goal helps me of where I want to go and what I want to focus on, the same way that a SMART goal would. And sometimes there is not really a SMART goal that one wants to set, so a just in general goal can also be totally okay. But you will realize that at some points it can make so much more sense to make a SMART goal, for example, by health, if you are, for example, planning to really work out every second day or so. But there's nothing wrong with also setting some just general goals, because with that you can still set a lot of systems and a lot of habits, and it's just a little bit more general, but still very possible to do. In the end, do the goal for yourself and not against yourself. So if you realize that it really helps you to make it not as detailed, then really do it that way. And with that, you write down your goals. You can take some days, some weeks to do that, because you know, it can be a little important if it's for a whole year. Depends how serious you take them, of course. And then, of course, it's important to write them down and print them out and put them somewhere where you can always see them, so that with them, you can then start doing your systems and your habits, so you can actually achieve the goals. Also to say is that there's not a right amount of goals to set. In this, what I showed you now, it is 12 goals. But you can do more and you can do less. There are people that are setting themselves one goal to really put all of their focus into that, but still, of course, improving in other areas as well. I think that 12 areas are very, very good, because you have in kind of every area something. Just the more goals you do, the more your focus is getting spreaded, and you cannot put so much effort and focus into one thing. When you would just have one, then it probably grows so much in 1 year, but you just don't really have all of the other things. And if you kind of spread it out, it's getting less and less from each one. Which is in the end not something bad, it just really depends on what you want to achieve next year. And to achieve now all of these goals, it's so important to set a system behind it, because the system will actually help you every day to achieve them. Creating your goals and choosing where your focus should lay on is the first part. But the second part is even more important, to set the systems and the habits so that you can, in the end, really achieve all of these goals. And how to do that, I will show you in the next video.